stay with me?
Yes.
You can be quiet? Okay. Right. We're recording? Okay. So, welcome back. We've tried to tell the kids to go away so we can film this, but it's not working. And rather than getting angry, I'm just gonna go with it. So, welcome back.
Ah!
Welcome back to How to Make Cider with an Axe, where we're making a timber frame press with traditional hand tools. Now in the last video I said that I wasn't going to show you any more of the structural techniques because I've shown you that. What's that about not working with animals and kids? I'm trying to work here. So the thing is, I said no more structural videos because basically we've shown you those techniques. And since that last video, we've got the third beam fitted, but we've hit a bit of a snag with the fourth beam. So the fourth beam is meant to be going, oh, careful. The fourth beam is meant to be going across these three posts. And the problem is that the beam that I thought that I had for the job isn't going to be good enough.
You know, we had this all filmed. It was all done. It's just the sound quality wasn't quite right on. So I'm putting myself through this extra stress for you guys to give good sound. Away. So this is the beam that I thought we were going to be using for the fourth beam. It's a little bit smaller than the pine beams, but that doesn't matter because this is eucalyptus obliqua or messmate. It's one of the timbers that's often sold as Tasmanian oak, and it's a lot stronger than pine, even a bit stronger than oak for that matter, but otherwise pretty similar, except it doesn't split anywhere near as easily as oak splits. But anyway, thought it was going to be good enough, but it's not. And the reason it's not is that it has a fair bit of rot in it. But fortunately, I've got a solution.
Okay, so I was driving by and I saw this pine tree, and I knocked on the door, and Julie, who's the owner of this block, has graciously said that we can have it. Okay. So we have our log. What have we got here? We've got a good 500 clear. $400 before we're starting to get into rocks. So what we need, about 9 by 11. Well, it's roughly sort of 220, 230 by 275. So because we're going to lose all of this here, we want to cut the beam like so. So what we're going to do, just to start things off, is get a center line. And unfortunately, I still haven't found what the kids have done with my little plumb bob, so I've got this big sucker, and that's going to be awkward. Right, let's call that plumb. There we go. Oh, this is a great plumb bob, but geez, I really wish I knew where my little one was. If you put the heart dead center in the beam, it's anyone's guess where it will crack. It won't crack, it'll check. Because as it shrinks, one of these faces in particular will end up checking quite badly. If you've seen in the other videos I've done, a lot of the timbers, a lot of the beams have got quite obvious checks along them. Well, if you've got the heart centered in the beam, it's very hard to predict which face it would be. So because this one's further, these two are further from the center than here, well, it'd be either checking in this face or this face. And since that's the orientation of the beam, this is either going to be the top or the bottom, and that's going to be either the top, the opposite. I'd like the check to be on the bottom of this beam. So if I move the beam up this way and have the heart off center down here, say if that's the bottom of the beam, this is where the check will form. And if that's the top of the beam, then if the press is outside in the weather at all and it rains, then that check won't collect water. What I think I might do is, we've got lots of clear wood here. I reckon it sounds clear. So what I might do is I might move the whole beam this way. Now, if I've done this right, 466, 465. Alright, well that's pretty damn close. So those beams you guys have seen me working with from the other ways, they look pretty big. But relative to this log, it's not looking too big now, is it? You see, if I had my four-wheel drive on the road and I had my trailer on the road, I'd bring the Lucas mill and I just cut that. Because as much as it's fun to do this, oh god, I'm running short of time. Crikey, that's a lot of axe work. normally when I'm hewing, I'll have the log on its side and I'll cut the noggins standing on the log, as you saw earlier in the filming. But this time I had the log up there and I thought, oh, I'll snap a line from this side, I'll snap a line from that side, and I'll give it a go. Because I've heard people talk about this method of jogging where they do it from the top. They say it's easier because you don't have to bend over and bloody bloody bloody. Personally, I don't like it. I don't think it works anywhere near as well. Because what I was finding is, as I was cutting, I was having to constantly look onto this side to see where I was, not to go over the line. And I don't have to do that when I'm standing on top of the log, because I can much better judge where I am. Maybe if you had two people, like one on either side, and so one's cutting down to the line there and one's cutting down to the line there, and then you do the middle together, that would work maybe. But by yourself, no, I wouldn't recommend having it. I'd much better, I think, to stand on the log and cut down. And the whole, people talk about the bending over being a problem when you're hewing. I don't find it so. I've got a dodgy back, got a herniated disc, and actually I find the axe work limbers me up. It loosens everything up. It's great. Yeah. So anyway, that's jogged, and in the spirit of that, I'm going to turn the log on its side and do it the way I would normally do it, because I'm just finding that easier. So that's what's next. Oh, these knots! You know, if you've got the option, if it's at all possible, it's a good idea to choose wood that doesn't have knots in it. This noggin and this noggin, they're probably just going to come off really easily. This one, not so much. And the one down the end, yeah, definitely not so much. Oh. And everyone thinks, oh geez, it's a softwood, what's he complaining about? Yeah, the wood's soft, the knots aren't. Well, that's a good effort. But the thing that gets me is those beams,
that I've been fitting into the press. They look huge on the press. You know, 9 by 11s. That's a big beam. But when I marked out this beam in this log, it looked really small. And now that I look at the last cut that I've got to do, the last face got to work, it really looks small. Because I don't think you can see it in the camera. Ah. But all of this has to go. Maybe it'll come up in the red. All of that. Now if I look along that log and I look at where the other line, probably a third of the wood that's left over has to come off. But by getting rid of all of this discoloured wood here, that's all sapwood. That's wood that's really prone to rot. This is really good quality wood in here. So, yeah, it's worth it. And plus, I didn't have another log to choose from, so that's just the way it is. Ah! Alright, so let's mark her up and get moving. Ah, blast. Hey, done! Oh, that was a serious effort. So, my
little helpers. Oh, alright, that was an effort. So I've got the fourth beam, I'm going to get this fitted, and then we are so close, not to getting the press finished, but we're so close to getting it operational. It'll be a bit like the Death Star, there'll be a lot more work that needs to do to finish it, but it will be operational, I'm hoping, next weekend is going to be the first pressing. Now, we'll see if we can do that. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, and if you want to stay in touch with what we're doing, hit the subscribe button. If anyone's got any questions, yeah, chime in, and we'll see you in the next video. Talk soon.